Welcome back, everyone. This is going to be another game brought to us by StarcraftOdds.com and SteelSeries for this SCA Open. It is going to be Pinder versus Voices. Voices repping from the 2bh.org forum, and we're going to have Pinder for Archaic MSI Esports. So we're going to be on Lost Temple for Game 1, and let's get this underway. So we're going to have Pinder spawning at the 9 o'clock position here as the yellow Protoss, and Voices as the blue Terran at the 3 o'clock. So I am 99.9% sure we will see a 1-gate expand build coming from Pinder in every single game. Because it is just proven to be a very strong, a very strong matchup. So really, Voice is a very strong player as well. He's a very macro-orientated, both really macro-orientated. So it should be a good game to cast. So Pinder going on the 9 scout here instead of 13 scout like Cowie and Legionnaire do. Let's go follow this little guy. In the meantime, if anyone hasn't had a look into the 1-gate expand build, it is actually very, very strong versus Terran. The only real things that you have to worry about are any really strong aggression, like proxy racks or really early 3 racks pressure. Everything else you can pretty much fend off pretty damn easily. So, Pinder is going to scout Voices second. Let's see if he will get his probe in the main line here, so that's always going to be good. You can actually keep probes alive in Terran bases until the second Marine pops out, if you control your stuff right. But there we go, so Pinder does get the probe in the bit. And looks like Pinder is just spamming his ass off with the APM, because he needs it to feel cool about himself. But obviously not. Anyway, we do have a simulator coming down now for Pinder, but in the meantime, we do have that first Marine coming out for Voice. He's going to be able to try and get that probe out of his base there, but it's probably not going to happen until the second one comes out, because hopefully Pinder does actually micro his probe right and doesn't fail and lose it too early. There we go, so he does send the probe out pretty damn quickly. He's running right next to the cliff, though. This can be very dangerous sometimes. But hey, there we go. So we do have Voice. Whoa, Voice is now going for the scout with his SCV. He's going to see this on 1-gate into Cybercore. I'm kind of wondering whether Voices has done his research and knows that this 1-gate fast expand build is coming. But really, let's see how we go. Nice pylon placement by Pinder here. He's not going to be stuck by any drops or cheat like proxies around the place, but he's getting a Zilla and a Chrono boosting out a Stalker. I'm going to put my money on a second Stalker comes out of there, as well as a second gate, a pylon. So I'm going to see a pylon down here, another Stalker, and then the Nexus coming from him. But in the meantime, looking back at Voices' base, he's getting a factory now. And both these players doing really well. Like, some of the top tier players these days in FCA, some of them have been like, they know they're good, but then they actually choke 4 times in the semifinals just before qualifying for really big tournaments. So really, hopefully Pinder isn't one of them. But anyway, what do we got coming here? What do we got? We got a Starport. So we got a 1-1-1 build coming from Voices. But really some passive play coming from these guys. I kind of don't like the fact that he's walled off, semi-walled off. Like the 2 barracks, sorry, the supply depots at the front can be sniped pretty well. But really, you can snipe that off. If there's like a lot of Protoss aggression with the Stalkers and Sentries, you can pick off the supply depots when you try and be aggressive up into this 1-base kind of play. And it actually really hurts because it'll probably instantly put you in the supply. So in the meantime, we do have the second gateways. We did have that expand come down, like I was saying. The pylon was slightly off placement for where I pointed, but that's alright. We do have 2 more gateways going down, and the Robocore is going to go down any second. In the meantime, we do have the factory scouting over here in the SCV, trying to get in there. Does see this very Does see this very fast expand coming from Pinder, and I wouldn't be surprised to see Command Center drop down pretty much instantly. But we do have a Banshee coming out, and do we have Cloak? No, no Cloak yet. No Cloak, but he does have Banshees coming out. More Banshees coming out. So I'm kind of surprised he isn't getting Cloak, but anyway, we do have that Robo facility coming now, so we'll be able to get an Observer, even if they do Cloak themselves. But that's still going to be... Pinder's still going to be fine from this. He's got that expansion up and running now. He's got 3 gateways. He probably just going to be pumping out a lot of Stalkers and Sentries at the moment. He probably needs to get that Observer over to that base ASAP to see these Banshees coming. There is still no Cloak on the way, so he's probably just going to be using 2 or 3 Banshees to deal with it. But hey, we got a Warp Prism coming from Pinder now. Okay, that's something I haven't seen him do before. Hopefully we see some drop kind of play. That's going to be very, very interesting to see. Maybe he was thinking some kind of cliff drop, mate, or he's either going for some harass, or he saw this factory coming across with this, expecting like a tank drop. But really, the Warp Prism's the right way to go to deal with that, but looks like he's just using it as a scout. Hopefully he does use something like... There we go, so he does have units in it. I think he's going straight for... Yeah, he is going straight over here. I bet you $100 he thought that was a tank drop, but he's just going to look like he's just going, oh, doesn't know what he's doing now. So it looks like he might go across and do some drops in the back of the base. Hopefully he can utilize that Warp Prism, even though he got it to defend that tank drop that he thought was coming. It's okay. So we do have more probes pumping out for Pinder. He's getting that Observer out. He's already got 1. A lot of players don't do this enough. They get 1 Observer to run with their army, and then 1 Observer to run into the other person's base. Here come the Banshees, though. They still don't have Cloak. There's about 5 Banshees. A couple of Marines coming out. So Banshee Marine coming here for him. And here we go. So Pinder does have quite a few units, but I'm not sure if he's going to be able to deal with this many. He's got them split it up at the moment. He does see them coming, so here we go. He's going to be transferring a lot of probes down to the front. Needs to get that force field off pretty damn well, otherwise it could be very dangerous. Here comes the factory as well. Going to start picking on the pylon here. Guardian Shield's going off. He's going to try and target down these Banshees. Nice Banshee control by Voices, but those Zealots going to town on all the Marines here, focusing down 1 at a time for the Banshees. So many Stalkers, they're going to be able to take down those Banshees really, really easily. In the meantime, Voices, little bit of miss micro there, missing all the Zealots. You don't want to be standing in front of Zealots, especially as Marine, but here we go. So Pinder forced to pull back at the moment, barely holding on, pulling probes to help deal with the Marines. Last Banshee is going to go down. 3 more Stalkers warping in. Snipes that last Banshee. The one other reinforcement coming in, but the probes cleaning up the rest of the units here. So very strong play by Voices with that push, but unfortunately the nice control by Pinder just pushes it all the way back. So nicely done by Pinder there, and I'd have to say he's in a very dominant position right now. He does have that Warp Prism in the back. Too much of a deal something. You probably wanted to drop these as he was attacking, but hey. Here come the Zealots. No, they're going to run away. Jump back in the transport and run away. So it's good to see... It's good to see Pinder making use of that Warp Prism. In the meantime, we have a look back at his base. He's getting more gateways down. He's got that Twilight Council. He does not, as of yet, have a Templar Archives. There it is, right as I say it. He drops it down. A couple of Immortals coming out. And in the meantime, there is still no expansion coming from Voices. This is putting him further and further behind. The longer he does it, I think he's just trying to go for the all-in here. He is about 23 harvesters behind off the 1 base. He's going to mine out very, very shortly. In the meantime, Pinder is going off 2 base. He's going to snipe this factory off. And a drop coming out for Voices. But Pinder's really going to see it very, very quickly because he's got the 2 pylons. We've got the 2 pylons here, so he's going to see the drop very, very shortly. And he's going to be able to deal with it pretty damn easily at this stage. So the Templar Archives is done. Pinder doesn't currently have enough gas to do that. But here comes the drop. Dropping straight in the main. He's probably just going to stim and try and snipe that Nexus. That's what I'd be doing. Stim, there we go. And he's sniping the Nexus. Is he going to get it down in time? I'm not sure. This could be very, very close. Snipe it. Sacrifice units to snipe it. Nicely done. He does snipe that Nexus. But in the meantime, he does lose both dropships. Holy shit. That was insane. So, I'd say an even trade here. In the meantime, we have Banshees coming in to the main. So the natural of Pinder, so trying to get that harass here. More Marines streaming in. I think Voice is feeling pretty safe with himself at the moment, but really, Pinder's still in a strong spot. That expansion, sorry, the main now going back up, and he's going to get the Banshee. Oh my god, why did you turn around? You could have just run straight and killed it, but he's going back down to this expansion now. Oversaturated by a lot here, and the Banshee finally does go down. In the meantime, the expansion for Voice is only just going up now. I really would have liked to see that a bit earlier from him, just because he's still on the 3 racks and 2 Stargates coming out. Sorry, Starports. But in the meantime, we do have a push out from Pinder here. That factory was just repaired. Oh my god, how did he not kill that factory? That's a bit of a blunder. But in the meantime, he is pushing out. He's got that Observer, does see all these units here. There is that Viking out. That'll be just to deal with that Warp Prism, but he's not getting any more of those. We're looking at 101 supply to 56, so we should be seeing a game over. Zealot charge is done, and there goes this charge, just stomping through most of those Marines. Stalker's making quick work of everything like that. Snipes the Viking. Pretty sure that was unintentional, though. And in the meantime, focusing down the command center, I think he should have been using those units a little bit better. And another stim coming out from Voices, double stimming on those units. So Pinder now just in a dominating position. And like we were saying earlier, you dirty rat, tvh.org, and a GG called by Voices. So it's going to be 1-0 to Pinder.